right, there we go. Okay, connection looks good. You know, I always got to check the connection because it always acts up on me. Going live. Genesis, what's going on? Genesis already popped up in the building early. I didn't even know she popped up. Who else? BJ. BJ, what's going on, man? You said you're going live after. Okay, cool. I ain't gonna be on maybe for like 45 minutes to an hour. Just got some good stuff to talk about, man. I just want to talk about, you know, the return of these strawweights, man. Yeah, man. Return of the strawweights. You know, return of these top 5 strawweights here, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. I know, you know, y'all be messing with me, man. Y'all be holding me up. I always say yeah, like 45 minutes to like an hour, man, but y'all be having me on here for like damn 2 hours, 3 hours. You crazy, man. It's true. It's all true, man. That's why it's funny. But yeah, man, we gonna try to we gonna chop it down, man. Since I know you need to get on too, so and I need to get off. I don't need to be staying on because I'm up here cooking something too. So yeah, but yeah, man, it's going down, man. This year, I mean, it's looking right. You know, we got the return of some of these elite straw weights. Um, well, I'm not sure about Joanna yet, and that's what we're gonna talk about, the return of Joanna. Hers doesn't really sound like it's legit, but Tatiana Suarez, her return, it sounds like she's ready. You know, she already talked to Dana White, and it's looking like she's planning on that. And you know, of course, Nina Azaroff, hers is it's finalized, right? Her Mackenzie Dern fight in April is ready to go. But my question for y'all, man, whose return are y'all really looking forward to? You know, that's what we're gonna talk about too, man. I think all 3 of them are necessary right now. You know, just to keep this division popping. But I think that out of the 3, for me, I can go ahead and say I'm looking forward to Tatiana Suarez. I'm really looking forward to her return. Just because out of the 3 of them, you know, she's the one that hasn't really had a chance to prove herself yet. You know, she just come off the tough house. You know, started dominating some of these girls. You know, thrashing girls like Alexa Grasso, Carlos Esparza. You know, just going through them. So for real, man, it's like I want to see somebody like Tatiana Suarez make it. You know, there were so many fights that I wanted to see her in. I wanted to see her in the Jessica Andrade fight. I wanted to see her fight Cynthia Calvillo, just because I knew that Tatiana Suarez had the skill and the strength to beat these girls, you know. And then it was all gonna come down to her in a fight with maybe Wei Lee at the time, or you know, whoever. I was just like, man, it was about to be her year. But then the neck injury happened, you know, after the Nina Azaroff fight, and she was just gone. You know, it was just like, what happened? You know, Wei Lee took over, and I can't get mad at Wei Lee. You know, she's been doing her thing, but it's time to go back to the girl that you know I was a fan of first, and that's Suarez. Yeah, BJ. Tatiana is the uncrowned champion for real. You know, I ain't forget about her. You know, I know she was just handling her business. You know, I'm a growing fan of Wei Lee, but you know, Tatiana, that was where it was at. All the way back to the tough house whenever she hit the scene. You know, I was like, yeah, this girl right here, she got the goods. Probably like one of the biggest, strongest strawweights I've seen. At times she be looking like a flyweight, but she makes the weight, right? So yeah, real quick, man, let's backtrack. Let's talk about Joanna real quick. Joanna's been, you know, she's been in the media lately, all over YouTube. She's been doing different interviews talking about her return to the octagon. Um, she said that she wants to return in 2021, but nothing's really finalized for her. And I've talked about it a few days ago because I saw this interview before Christmas, and I just got around to talking about it last week. Joanna was just kind of going in on different things about um, having a crowd, how much money she should be getting, and being entitled to title shots. And yeah, BJ, I know I got your message earlier too. I saw what you posted on Twitter about Joanna. So yeah, I think that's interesting though, man. But right now, Joanna, her coming back at 115, she really wants to come back at 115. She made some interesting points and some good points in there where I could understand where she's coming from as far as her being, an ex-champion, an older fighter as far as how she wants to stay active. But come on, she has to get real she's got to be real on the title shot opportunities. You just can't come back after a year off and expect to get a title shot. And you can't really expect to be, what's the word for it? Yeah, entitlement. She can't expect entitlement like for Dana White to negotiate a crowd for her too. So we're in a pandemic right now. I mean, we're supposedly coming off a tail end of a pandemic, but I don't know. It could go right back into effect. Where lockdowns happen again. Numbers spike again. So Joanna really has to take all that into consideration if she wants to continue to be in the UFC. I think the fact that her saying, "Oh, I need a crowd to fight," might be kind of an excuse just to kind of hold out for more money. So I was thinking of that angle too the other day. I was thinking maybe she's hoping that Dana will say, "Well, you are worth it, so I'm going to double your pay salary. I'm going to double your check for this next fight." But I don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening. I just think she has to do like every other champion and bite down. Yeah. Okay, BJ. Yeah. I didn't spill all of it, man. Okay. That's why I tried to hold back on it. I don't know if you wanted me to talk about that because it was on Twitter too. So I'm not going to talk about it here because I don't think too many people seen it. So I'll shut up. But yeah, I think the crowd factor with Joanna could be a way of holding out for more money. Trying to really get back into the octagon. Have Dana really get her back into the octagon by trying to double the money. But I don't think so, man. I don't think it's going to work that way. She's going to have to do like everybody else, DC, Conor McGregor, all these other fighters, all these fighters that are much more popular than her. Of course, Conor McGregor is considered the superstar of the UFC, so he's one of those fighters that he's going to come to the octagon without a crowd. So hey, why can't she? So that's one of the things I did disagree with her on, but I do understand the fact that she brought up in this other interview the fact that she's getting older, and she was saying that she wants to have kids one day, and she can't really put herself through the punishment of fighting or the hard training camps anymore. Well, I understand that part, but that doesn't mean you get to get in the octagon and fight for a title every single time for that factor. That's another angle where it kind of seems like maybe she's looking for a cash out. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna come back to the octagon every time, nah. If you're gonna have like these long layoffs and expect a title shot every time, that's just unreal. No champion's ever done that in the past. Like I said, unless they're doing like a rematch or like a rubber match with a fighter, but they never just take a year off or 2 years off and then expect to come back in there and get a title shot. That's not how it's going to work for Joanna. I don't think she's entitled to take a year off and then come back and just jump ahead of Rose or jump ahead of even Carla. I know a lot of people disagree about Carla, but I'm starting to say, man, like the more and more I look at it, hey, at least Carla's been active, you know. Carla has been active in that factor. Marcus said if JJ did that, she would be waiting for a while for a fight, and if she continues to wait, Dana will force JJ to fight someone, and then after curtain close. Yeah, like the longer she waits, you know, it's gonna like put her in a position where Dana White's gonna say, man, you got to fight or we're gonna cut you, you know. Because though Joanna brings something to the table in the UFC, in the WMMA strawweight division, I still think there's a fact that she could be cut. You know, she's not exempt from being cut because the strawweight division still has a lot of talent, even though she's not in there right now. You know, the strawweight division is still thriving without her. Talent-wise, you know. I mean, we don't have like the characters and the personalities like that, but that she brought to the table. But I still think that you know, we have way too much talent to just say, oh, the division relies on her at this point. I mean, it doesn't, because she doesn't have the belt. She hasn't had the belt in 3 years, right? She's 2-3 in her last 5 fights, and those 3 losses are all 3 title shots. You know, all 3 fights that she lost were title shots. So why is she going to get to come back when her last fight was a title shot that she lost, may have been close, and then get back in there against Weili or the winner of Weili versus Rose? You know, nah, it don't work that way. Conor McGregor, if he takes a year or 2 off, John Jones, if he takes a year or 2 off and he lost the belt, you know, just by being inactive, he would come back against a tune-up fight or, you know, another fighter in the top 5. And I think it's only fair that if Joanna comes back in 2021, that she has to do the same thing. You know, take 1 or 2 fights, show us that you're head and shoulders above the rest, and then maybe we can talk title shot. You know, because nothing in me right now is saying, oh man, like Joanna's got to get back in there right away and fight Weili again. I mean, that flame has kind of died. Like, if they would have made that fight over the summer, granted, if Joanna didn't have to take that time off because of her head, like if the head swelling wasn't there and she would have been able to jump right back in there for a rematch, then I would have been all for it. You know, I would have been all for a rematch in 2020 with Weili. But the longer she waited, you know, other fighters had jumped the line. You know, other fighters had kind of surpassed her while she was waiting. And then there were rumors about her maybe retiring too. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I was just like, hey, we got to keep moving. You know, Dana White was like, yo, we're talking maybe Carla Esparza next. Colton, what's going on? Colton said, where does Amanda Ribas fit into all of this? Well, Amanda Ribas doesn't really fit into the top. You know, she's still not amongst the elite. She's still kind of a fighter that has to show and prove herself right now. You know, I don't think a win against Mackenzie Dern and Paige is really going to tell us that she's in talks with a Joanna yet, and Tatiana Suarez and them yet, Colton. But if she looks good in her next performance against Marina Rodriguez, you know, she'll definitely push up the ladder. Because, you know, Amanda Ribas right now is number 9. So we just looking at these top 5 fighters, former top 5, and, you know, Tatiana Suarez. Yeah. And yeah, BJ, yeah, she has a ways to go. Yeah, she doesn't deserve that yet. Gary Baldwin said Amanda Ribas is 2 fights away from a title shot. Possibly. Yeah, she possibly is. If she gets past Marina Rodriguez and maybe beats the winner of, let's see. Or let's say if Joanna chooses not to fight Jan, then after that, Jan and Ribas could fight, something like that, you know. Or Jan could fight, not Jan, but let's say Amanda Ribas beats Marina Rodriguez and then she fights Claudia next, something like that. Or she finally gets that Carla Esparza fight. You know, that's probably going to push her into a title shot eventually. You know, maybe like into 2021. Uh-oh. Amanda Rebus is too far. Yeah, I read that. Okay. Colton said, "Is Tatiana coming back?" I missed the first part of the stream. Yeah, yeah, she is. You're still in the first part of the stream, Colton. I'm still on Joanna right now. I haven't got to Tatiana yet. I spoke on her a little bit, but yeah, I haven't got to Tatiana yet. So you good? I'm just starting. Am I just starting? Let me see. Yeah, I've been in here for about 15 minutes. So yeah, we still kind of on Joanna right now. BJ said if Jillian ain't top 10 worthy, then Rebus isn't either. Period. Damn. That's a strong argument, BJ. You gotta talk about that on your live stream today, man. I'm gonna hold you to that line right there. If Jillian ain't top 10 worthy, then Rebus isn't either. I want to know. I want your argument on that, BJ. Look, I respect I respect how you ride for Jillian, man. So I need to hear your argument for that tonight on your live stream. Please do that for me, BJ. Please. You got to make room for that segment. You just added another segment to your live stream tonight, BJ. I want to hear your argument for that. So yeah, Joanna, her coming back to the octagon, I think it's a good thing. You know, she gets on my nerves sometimes with some of the things she says, but like I said, the character she brings to the table, the heel character, and the way she just backs herself up, she trains hard and she goes in there and whoops, she whoops tail, man. So I gotta respect that. But right now, her position to try to call the shots is really not. It's really not at the level that she thinks it is. Like Joanna's one of the best fighters in WMMA. Period. You know, she is gonna go down in history as that. She's gonna go down as a Hall of Famer, no doubt. But she is not the superstar that she thinks she is. There's a big difference between a superstar and a pound for pound just great fighter. An all-around great fighter doesn't necessarily mean that you are recognized as a superstar. Boxing, Anthony Joshua, he's a superstar. Anthony Joshua, he's considered a superstar in boxing. Terrence Crawford, probably an all-around better skilled fighter than Anthony Joshua. He's a champion too, but he's not a superstar. So holding a belt doesn't make you a superstar. You can say you be a Hall of Famer, but you're not a superstar. So I think somebody like Joanna just kind of feels that way because she has a lot of followers. But there's another level to it. There's still another level to the game because I'm telling you, man, when I'm Genesis, what's going on? I'm telling you, whenever I'm in there, like just watching some of these fights with some of these casual fans, when I watch some UFC cards with people, they still don't know Joanna's name. I mean, the tail of the tape is playing, but they still don't even know her name. Guys from everywhere in the bar, they just be like, "Who is that white girl fighting a Chinese girl?" That's how they refer to it as. They don't. Yeah, BJ, she's a superstar in Poland, of course. Because she's like one of their only fighters, so they got a rep for her. The same as Anthony Joshua, they rep for him in the United Kingdom, so he's a superstar. But worldwide, I'm talking international. I'm talking like, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather international. I'm talking Conor McGregor international. I'm telling you, when I walk down the street and I ask, if I pull out a picture of Joanna right now, people around this way ain't going to know her name. If I pull out Conor McGregor's picture, they're going to know it because he's a superstar. So with that being said, her feeling like she can come back and just call the shots and say, "Yo, I need a crowd. I need a title shot ASAP." It don't work that way. It's not working that way right now during the pandemic. You got to go with what's on the table. And she did say that if Dana says, "Yo, are you going to fight on this card? Do you want to fight on this card?" She would say, yeah. Without a crowd, she would. So again, she got to go in there and prove her worth for a title shot. It can't be a title shot yet. Yan Zhana. That's the fight I want to see her in there with. That's the fighter I want to see her in there next. You know, she wants to kick 2021 off. But you ain't getting it right away. There's fighters ahead of you. Rose. It's between Rose and Carla right now. I want to see Carla and Joanna fight again too, though, man. I mean, style nightmare for Carla, but Carla got to get that get back for real. Gary said, yeah, DJ got screwed by the UFC and fans, even though he's the flyweight GOAT. Demetrius Johnson, yeah, he's a very talented fighter, but he wasn't seen as a superstar. That's another example. Like, great fighter, probably better technician than a lot of these fighters, better technician than Conor McGregor. But hey, he gone, man. You know, he's gone because he wasn't treated right. And Joanna, I feel like she's more so in that category than she is a Conor McGregor. You know, she's on that side too, because people aren't really gonna try to go to extreme. You know, they're not gonna go to the extreme to see her back into the octagon. You know, they're not gonna go all out and say, "Oh, Dana, we need to see Joanna back in the octagon." Colton said, "Do you think Nina Ansaroff has a chance against Joanna?" Man, styles make fights, and I think it really depends on what she's looking like this year. I think she has a chance. I don't see her getting stopped by Joanna. I think that, you know, Nina Ansaroff, I think she has a very patient style that would give Joanna trouble. And that's the type of style that gives Joanna trouble. If you're patient and you can fight at a range and you're not like coming straight head first in, then yeah, you'll give her problems. You know, she admitted it. If y'all saw that interview, the one interview where Joanna was talking about Rose and Wei Lee, you know, she went in, man. She was like, yo, Rose is a smart fighter. You know, Rose knew how to keep distance. Rose had power. You know, she was honest. You know, she was like, and you could see it in her face, like the way she was smiling about it. She was like, yeah, Rose got pop. You know, she was like, Rose got pop. And she was like, Rose is a smart fighter. So I think the smarter you are, it doesn't really have to do with strength when you're fighting Joanna. I think the smarter you are and the more powerful power punches, the more heavy-handed you are, you can handle Joanna. Because she's physically strong. You know, she's a physically strong fighter. Stamina, what's going on, man? Gary, what's going on? Gary said Joanna is at least more popular than DJ. Yeah, she is. She's a little bit more, but she's a little bit more popular than Demetrius, but she's not. She's more close to him. She's more close to being treated like him than she would like a Conor McGregor. Because like I said, man, I'm telling you, I'm going to hold up them pictures in the bar one day again. And man, people are going to say, I seen her fight, but they don't know her name. They'll be like, oh, that's Conor McGregor right there. You know, she's still not a superstar. So for Joanna, when she come back this year, it's gotta be a top 5 fighter. It's not a title shot. It's gotta be Yan Zhana at this point. It's gotta be Yan. Coach, what's going on? It's gotta be Yan, man, for real. It's gotta be Yan, and it ain't gonna be no crowd there for you. You ain't gonna be exempt like you know, in boxing. You know, they're bringing the crowd back, which I think is crazy. I don't think I'm not ready to go to a fight yet with the crowd. But yeah, let's jump to Tatiana, man. This is the one I'm waiting on right here, man. Tatiana, you know, she already posted on Instagram that she's ready to come back. She's ready to come back to the octagon this summer. It's long overdue for real, man. Because when was her last fight? June. I have this junk memorized. It's like June 2019. Yep. Her last fight was June 2019, of course, against Nina Ansaroff, man. And it's it feels so different when she left, man. I was like, yeah, Tatiana, I was like a big fan of her, you know, a growing fan of Wei Lee, but I was just like, nah, my girl Tatiana's back now. It's gonna be on. So, with that being said, with her coming back to the octagon, what do y'all think, man? Like, y'all think she's ready for that top level fighter, like a top elite, top 10 or top 5, excuse me, or do y'all think she just maybe needs to fight an unranked fighter or somebody below, maybe through 6 through 10? What do y'all think? I mean, who's looking forward to Tatiana returning the most? I know BJ said he is. BJ, he ready to see that fight. So yeah. Stamina said she might be more popular than DJ, but she's not nearly as respected as him. Right. Yeah, because popularity, that's just you being known, but respect, you know, that's something you got to earn, you know. Let's see. I'm just checking the comments section. Gary said Joanna has problems with any skilled striker approaching her side. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you go back and look at her fights, she'll destroy anybody with no hands. But whenever you start to think and you start to move around the octagon and you start to measure that distance on her, you know, Joanna's in for it. So that's what I'm saying with Nina. She might try to bring something like that to the table. Yeah. Colton said, yeah, we need Tatiana. I have so much faith in her. Yeah, man, we do, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, TJ said, I think her neck isn't where she hopes it is. Well, we'll see, man. I mean, there's no time like the present. I mean, the longer you wait, the older you get, the harder it takes for that type of stuff to recover. So fighting is her life. You know, there's no time like the present than to test it now. You know, she's been to the doctor and they gave her the okay. You got to test it now. You know, she's already 30 years old. So, yeah. TJ said Tatiana will have to change her whole style to protect that neck. Unlikely she has or will. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, the style, man. Yeah, same like when you break a hand and your hands are brittle. You know, the whole style has got to change, man. Like, she's got to be more controlled with the pressure. The striking level definitely has to step up. So, you know, I hope that's something that, you know, she's really been working on in camp. You know, I really hope that she's got a striking coach now because, you know, she is a good sized fighter. She's physically strong. So why not improve that hand game? You know, because I know she could generate some power. You know, I know she could really generate power. So she maybe needs to become a little bit more stand-up based than trying to maul fighters and take them to the ground. Do you think Mackenzie Dern could be a problem for Tatiana with her jiu-jitsu? I think so. Maybe at this point, we don't know how the neck looks right now too. I think her jiu-jitsu could be something, but it depends. I don't know how strong she is in like how strong she would be in the clinch. You know, Hannah Cyphers was muscling Mackenzie Dern, and I think Tatiana would have fun with that as long as it was standing. But if it goes to the ground, I don't know. That's dangerous. You know, it might go more Dern's way if it goes to the ground. 50-50, I think. Yeah, Gary, man, like Tatiana's neck, that's a scary injury right there, man. You know, it's not like a knee or, I mean, even a knee, that's pretty bad in this sport, but the neck injury does scare me. Like, I would like to know more on what the neck injury is. Like, as far I know it's fractured, but just like what she's been doing to really get it to heal. Maybe having to be delicate with the neck means she has to do other stuff, roll, spar, strength, and conditioning. Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. Like, the style is really gonna have to become something. I think more stand up and more control based. You know, she can't go hard for like 3 rounds. So yeah, let me pull up this article here real quick. this article I was reading earlier where she was coming back. It was on MMA Junkie. Yeah, and this is what Tatiana said right here. She said, yeah, my team and I are thinking summer. At first I thought spring, but I want to make sure my neck will make it through a camp before committing to a fight. I tried to spar and my neck hurt after a few rounds, so I cut the session. But slowly but surely I'm introducing live training back in. So yeah, I've seen her on Instagram a few times, just trying to stay in shape, staying just fit, like physically fit. But as far as the live training, that's something that we haven't seen for a while, and yeah, for good reason. Yeah, so if y'all didn't hear me, yeah, posted here, yeah, my team and I are thinking summer. At first I thought spring, but I want to make sure my neck will make it through a camp before committing to a fight. I tried to spar and my neck hurt after a few rounds, so I cut the session. Damn. But slowly but surely I'm introducing live training back in. And she said, and this is what Dana White said, she hit me up the other day. Her neck is much better. She's looking to come back soon. He said she's scary. Yeah, she is. But the neck injury is scary too. So I hope she's ready. Gary said Dern may have a chance. Suarez has never faced BJJ at that level. Right. Hang on 1 second here. Yeah, man. So I don't know, man. Like it's going to be interesting. And I'm glad that I'm glad that she's taking the time too. Like, she's being honest with herself. She told us right here, look, she thought spring was going to be a good time, but she was honest. Look, the neck was hurting. She tried sparring. It hurt after a few rounds, so she stopped, right? So she wants to push it out a little bit more, maybe to like June, July, or August. Summer doesn't necessarily mean June or July, so she could come back in August or something. So as long as she gets the right amount of time to make sure that neck is good, I'm fine with that. I mean, I do miss seeing her in the octagon, but yeah, man, like this injury is no joke. Again, I'm curious about what the physical therapy with that is. Like, I'm not really familiar with the necks and stuff like that. Cam Hong said Zhang Weili is very good in Chinese combat wrestling, even if she has not used it very often. Yeah, I mean, she's got the frame for it too, man. She got the body. Definitely, I can tell she's physically fit and physically strong in that department. Stamina said maybe she can borrow Perillo as well. Here go Coach. Coach said Rose or a healthy Tatiana would beat Weili. A healthy Rose, yeah, and a healthy Tatiana could beat Weili. I think you got to be 100% to beat Weili though right now, man. Like, there's some champions I've seen in the past where they're just there, and they're like, so and so could beat them on their 50% or 60% day. But I think you got to be close to 100% to be. I think you got to be close to 100% to beat Weili right now, man. Like, her momentum is just crazy. Yeah. I know you said could. Yeah, that. But like I'm saying, yeah, like they could. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got when they're for that to happen, they would have to be 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, I love Rose, but I'm Thug Nation. But she got to make sure she's on it. Got to make sure she's on it before she get in there with Weili. Like, I know Rose has got the power. She's got the better stand-up game, beautiful footwork, but execution. You got the execution for it, But she will. She will. She will. She's gonna come with her A game. But yeah, man, what do y'all think about that, man? What I just read about Tatiana Suarez, man. Like, are y'all a little bit more worried, or y'all a little bit more excited for her? Like, what's y'all's thoughts on that? Because I'm excited to hear that she's coming back. But when I heard that the neck was hurting, you know, when I heard the neck was hurting a little bit, I'm kind of feeling a certain way about it now. You know, just a little bit. Because I missed that part. I missed that part earlier today. I just read the part where, you know, Dana White said she hit him up and she said she was ready to come back. But, you know, during the springtime, you know, she said the neck was hurting, you know. And not the springtime, but you know what I mean. Like, over the past few months, that's why she pushed it back. So, I don't know, though, man. Yeah. Coach said she should stay out. Yeah, like, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad about it. Like, yeah, y'all give me on a scale of 1 to 10. Somebody in the comment section, what do y'all think, man? Scale of 1 to 10. How confident are you in Suarez coming back? And how, like, are y'all like nervous for her after me reading that? Like, are y'all nervous for her? I'm a little nervous for her, man. I want this comeback, but I'm nervous for her. Jason Rose, what's going on? Jason said the female Khabib is back. Go Tatiana. I hope so, man. Stamina said Rose doesn't show up sloppy on fight night, or at least she hasn't in a while. Whether all she's got is ultimately enough is the only unknown. You know? Yeah. Okay, Genesis said she's 70% sure. Okay. Marcus, that's similar. Yeah, 7. Okay. Damn, y'all all in the same range. Okay. Marcus said about a 7. Stamina said a 6 or a 7 over here. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of in that range. I was around like a 5 or a 6, actually. I just kind of felt like, man, like when I heard the neck thing, I was just like, yo, got to be careful, man. You only got one neck. I mean, for real. I've seen fighters fight with one hand, but you know. Oh, wow. Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. TJ, like the guillotines and things like that. That's what I'm worried about. But yeah, all right. So we talked about her coming back in general. Who do y'all want to see Tatiana come back? BJ said he's an 8. Okay. BJ got some faith in her, man. All right. So let's talk about who she should fight next. Who next? Who next for Tatiana if she come back in the game, man? Who do y'all want to see her fight? I'll give y'all my opponents. Somebody mentioned something up here in the comment section. Hold on. Was it you, Gary? Gary or Colton had said, who do I think was a tough 3 opponents for Tatiana? I think anybody with stand up and takedown defense is going to be tough for her. Like, I still think Nina's tough for Tatiana. I think Joanna would be tough, and I think that Yarn would be tough. I think Jana, I think she promotes some problems here and there. Not saying Tatiana can't beat her, but I think she promotes some problems for her. Gary said Rose's stand-up is not better than Weili, in my opinion. Rose did beat Joanna, but had trouble with Jessica, Carolina, and Tisha's stand-up. I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that. I can't argue with that. Cam Hong said Weili only slept 6 hours and 2 days before her match with Joanna. Just imagine this. Weili has 9 hours of sleep before fighting Rose. That's crazy. Colton said, who is Tatiana going to get matched up with? Who do you think? I think maybe somebody in 6 through 10, or maybe an unranked strawweight at the moment. Yeah, Colton, I think that Tatiana should be matched up. Personally, I would like to see. Well, it might be dangerous, but Kanako Murata. I want to see her in there with Kanako Murata. I don't know if that's too early. What y'all think? You know, that would be kind of a physical fight too. You know, that'd be hard on the neck. Yeah, Jason said he's nervous. Yeah, and neck injury problematic, man. Jason said Tatiana versus Joanna. Gary said Rose's stand-up is not bad. Yeah, I read that. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to go back and talk to you about that, man. That is interesting that you say that. All right, I want to see Tatiana versus Rebus. That's what Colton said. Tatiana versus Rebus. If Tatiana is 100%, I got to go with Tatiana in that fight by destruction. If she can get past the jab, that is. If she can get past the jab, and if she can cut that wild footwork off, Tatiana by destruction. Jason Rose, BJ, what's cooking? Okay, yeah, y'all. A lot of people are saying Tatiana versus Joanna. Or Amanda. Marcus said Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos, man, trying to get man, Amanda Lemos is tough though. I ain't gonna lie. Corey McKenna, yeah, I think that would be a good fight just to get back into the mix, BJ. Yeah, I think that would be good. I think Tatiana destroys her, but it would be a nice. I hate to say safe fight. I hate to say a safe fight for Tatiana, but it would be a fight where I don't think she'd have to really worry about the neck getting hurt as much, you know, because I could see McKenna trying to keep it on the feet, and I could see her really just like controlling the fight in the clinches and mauling, and eventually like getting McKenna down to the ground. With some ground and pound, excuse me. Jason said, yeah, that's the question. Who wants to fight Tatiana, right? It ain't who's going to fight, who she's going to fight. It's like, who wants to fight her? Oh, okay. Gary Baldwin said he think Murata could beat Tatiana right now. That's a bold statement right there, man. That girl got hands and she can wrestle, though. I ain't going to lie. Jason Rose said Amanda Rebus, Nina Ansaroff, and Joanna all should be fighting at flyweight. Hashtag big girls. You might as well throw Mackenzie Dern in that mix too, man. Mackenzie Dern should be fighting at flyweight. Put Mackenzie Dern up in there too, you know. Lemos is hard to take down. Yeah, she's tough, man. Yeah, Lemos is Lemos versus Suarez. I think that fight and the Kanaka fight would be competitive. I think that McKenna would get destroyed by Suarez. Yes, Stamina. Yeah, like, we trying to get her killed, man. I'm just trying to put her in there with like an unranked fighter where she can get a tune-up, man. I'm sorry, man. And if McKenna got to be that sacrificial lamb, then hey, so be it. I'm just playing, man. Oh yeah, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up too. I had like 14 people in here. If y'all hit the thumbs up, you know, my notifications come up more. You know, I appreciate that. If y'all could do that for me. All right, so we got some interesting answers here. You know, everybody for Tatiana, we could see Amanda Lemos, Kanako Murata, Corey McKenna. It doesn't necessarily have to be a top 5 fighter for her yet. But I think that was, like I said, I think it was Colton or Gary earlier asked me, Yeah, the three fighters I think would be problems for Tatiana right now would be, it's still Nina Ansaroff would be kind of a problem, I think. Um, if she made right adjustments and just kept it a thinking standing fight, Joanna and Jana would still kind of be a problem, I think. Who else? And of course the champion. The champion is going to be a tough fight. That's the only real. So yeah, that's what I think. But y'all got some good answers out there too, man. Like shoot, Amanda Lemos. Yeah, that would be like a good just straight away summer fight for her though. BJ said this dude said Tatiana wouldn't have the wrestling advantage over Zhang. Man, who said that? Oh, okay, Cam Hong over there. Okay, I see you. Cam Hong said Tatiana will have an edge over Wei Lee in the wrestling part. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know. I can't say she would, man. That's what Tatiana does, man. Tatiana is the female Khabib. That's her game, man. I think Wei Lee is strong in the clinch, but I think she's strong. But I think overall Tatiana is just much more polished. Her technique is much more polished, man. That's what Tatiana does. I'm not saying it wouldn't be competitive at times, but I gotta give Tatiana the edge because Tatiana is constantly using it in every fight. You know that's how you get better at wrestling. That's how you get better at any skill set. Like you can work it in the gym and you can work it in the mats, but if you're constantly using it in fights, I think that you have the upper hand. That's just me. Like if you're using it in fights constantly, then that person has the advantage because they're using it against world class opponents. If that makes sense, it's one thing to wrestle against sparring partners and people that know you that aren't going to go full on 100% with you. But when you talking Tatiana constantly using it against Carla Esparza, Alexa Grasso, Nina Ansaroff, and all of these fighters she's been fighting, I feel like she's really gonna be the definition of the fighter that has the better wrestling and execution. Stamina said Wei Lee's wrestling is a bit of an unknown commodity, as I understood it. Yeah, I mean it could be one of those things she can pull out the bag, but I don't think if you don't use it enough in a fight, in an actual fight, then it's not really going to be a big advantage. It's just going to kind of be your plan B when you make an adjustment. But that's just me, man. TJ says so you haven't seen it in Octagon, thus it doesn't exist. Okay, who said that? I know I didn't say that because my thing is it's not going to be up to par. Like you could have that, like I said, fighters that don't, guess what I'm going to talk about? The jab. Fighters that don't jab in fights are going to get used to not jabbing. So when it comes down to the day they need to use that jab, it's not going to work for them. They could say, "Oh, I work it all day in the gym or I work it here and there," but if you get used to not using it in title fights or just professional fights, then it's almost going to be a weapon that you almost abandon. Colton said Zhang does have an underrated ground game if you watch some of her earlier fights, but Tatiana is an Olympic level wrestler. Exactly. Stammer said, "You say that as though I didn't watch that fight." Paige was okay. What is that? Wait, I would like to see Amanda Ribas move up eventually. She fought Paige at flyweight. Paige was a former strawweight too, so it wasn't that big an ask. Her versus Lauren Murphy, Maya, or Chikagan would show you how out of place she'd be. Yeah. BJ, he wasn't wrong. Tatiana Suarez is a better wrestler than Wei Lee. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. I think the fighter that goes in there, executes it more, and uses it and has better success against elite competition, that's the person with the better skill set in that department. If that's how you get your wins, and that's what sets up your wins and your submission wins, then that person has the better has the better wrestling in this case. But okay, you bring up Sarah McMahon being an Olympic wrestler, but who executed it better? We not just talking about being being a wrestler. Who's got better execution though? You know, we talking about execution here. If you really want to look at it, who's using it the right way when they get in the octagon? The Sarah McMahon, she was an Olympic wrestler, right? So was Tatiana, but who executed it better and who transitioned better? That's what it's all about. So Sarah McMahon is not even in the topic. Yeah, she's an Olympic wrestler, but yeah, she's not even in the topic, because she's not even, like I said, she's not on that level because there was no execution to it. Whaley was using a lot of wrestling in her non-UFC fights. Actually, earlier in career, she was more of a wrestler and a striker. Yeah, in her early fights, but she kind of abandoned that now. If she was using that wrestling on these fighters that she beat now, like if she wrestled Jessica Andrade to death, if she wrestled Tisha Torres to death, and if she got all these fighters down with wrestling and she got wins off of her wrestling, then yeah, then she would be considered a better wrestler than Tatiana, right? But in this case, Tatiana gets her wins and her setup, submissions and how she beats fighters. She gets those wins off of her wrestling. Cam Hong said Whaley versus Carla. I'm gonna have to go with Whaley in that one. Cam Hong, no doubt on that one. I think Whaley. I think Whaley is just too powerful. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go Whaley in that one. So yeah, real quick, Nina Ansaroff. Nina Ansaroff, her comeback is the most solid out of these fighters, that we've been talking about. She's gonna come back against Mackenzie Dern in April, and honestly, man, I think this is a winnable fight. After seeing Mackenzie Dern in her last performance, I think that Nina Ansaroff, granted, if she comes back in good physical shape and if she can make 115 with no problems, if she's working on that now in the smart way, she starts getting that diet right before April 10th, then I could definitely see her coming in there strong and making this a very good technical fight against Mackenzie Dern. I think Nina Ansaroff developed the IQ over the past few years. Of course, being with Amanda Nunes is helping, So I think that she's been developing a good skill set and, constantly working with Amanda. She's been getting into that mode where she's becoming more of a thinking fighter. And I remember when she fought Tatiana back in 2019. I thought Tatiana was going to blow her out. I mean, I was being a little biased, but she went in there and showed great takedown defense in that fight. I think didn't Nina rock Tatiana in that fight? I think she did, right? I think Nina Ansaroff did kind of clip Tatiana in that fight once. I think she did, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that fight. But yeah, I think her striking has always been on point. You know, she has a good jab, good straight right hand, good leg kicks, and I think her angles and her ability to keep good range is going to be problems. It's going to really be problems for Mackenzie Dern in this fight. You know, Mackenzie Dern is really going to need to take it to the ground in this fight because Nina Ansaroff is just a much cooler, calmer fighter when it comes to keeping range and striking from the outside. And one of the things about Mackenzie Dern that just showed me was the head movement was non-existent. You know, it was really non-existent. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Nina did get Tatiana towards the end of the third. Yeah. I remember. Like, I thought she did clip her with something. In that fight. Colton said Nina Ansaroff could really be great, but she doesn't believe in herself enough. I think she does now, and you know, it's a tough time right now because the strawweight division is so good. But I watched the interview with Nina Ansaroff, and she said there was a time when she almost felt like she didn't want to fight anymore. You know, when I think she was going on a little losing streak. You know, she felt like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm not really a fighter. But when she got back in there, started fighting at 115, she kind of refound herself, she said, and she said she wanted to try to fight for the belt eventually. You know, then she went on a nice little fight winning streak against, you know, Angela Hill. She beat Randa Marcos, beat Claudia. You know, she beat a few good fighters in there. Gave Tatiana a tough fight. So, yeah, I think there was a time she didn't. That's why it kind of denied her some of that greatness that she could have been. Amanda Nunes is her best asset because she gives her encouragement. Yeah, man. I mean, I ain't hating on her for that. You know, I mean, whoever you got in your corner, that's what you need. You know, that's what you got to have in your corner. You know, a person that's going to be there and believe in you. And not only does this person believe in her, but she has one of the pound for pound best fighters in WMMA that believes in her. You know, so that's all around win-win for Nina Ansaroff. Ernest Richards said Suarez got that neck injury in that fight. She almost got stopped. Yeah. Nina got some tricks, man. She got some veteran skills in there. And so she said she was inspired by Dern recently. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, Nina's definitely got some veteran tricks in there that's gonna make this fight interesting. I'm curious as to where this fight is gonna put Nina Ansaroff if she beats Mackenzie Dern. If Nina Ansaroff beats Mackenzie Dern, who do y'all think she fights next? Do you think she fights one more fight and then she eventually gets a title shot herself? Gary Baldwin proves MMA, BJJ, and wrestling is different from just pure grappling. Yeah, pure grappling, yeah, just a different thing. Because, you know, in MMA, you're using different things like grappling to set up for different positions. It depends on the fighter. You know, it's some complicated stuff. I know who did get some gift decisions, TJ. Claudia got 2 gift decisions over Angela Hill and Carla Esparza. Boom. The end. Colton said Nina's team knew exactly how to deal with Tatiana, and they told her step by step everything to beat her, but Nina didn't execute. Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, she's not Amanda. Yeah, definitely she's not. But she put up a good fight. I will say that. Jason Rose says she's gonna. Yeah, she's gonna. I really do favor Nina Ansaroff in this fight. You know, Stamina said Nina beats Mackenzie, then she keeps that ranking. She should never have had up to now. She loses down, she slides. Claudia is no longer the aggressive wrestler she once was. Now she needs to holler Greg Hardy for that inhale. Dang, I'll go hard on Claudia. Ernest Richardson said, speaking of strawweights, Loma said after a new strength and conditioning regimen, she walks around over 130 now. Oh, okay. Loma and Corey McKenna, that would be a good fight. I just popped in my mind. Claudia is not really improving. She continues to hold that spot down. I don't know how, but it's about time for her to go. It is about time for her to go. But yeah, man, Nina Ansaroff, her fights, like I said, she's got the solidified comeback so far. And I think that she definitely has the skill set to beat Mackenzie Dern. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, Jason. She has to make weight first. That's what I was saying. Yeah, if she goes on a diet now up until April to make sure she can lose the baby weight and everything, then she should be good. If not, we might see Mackenzie and Nina Ansaroff at 125. Who knows? We might see them at 125. I would not doubt that. Oh wow, Gary said cardio Gedalia. Oh man, I think he's got the best comeback in the chat for tonight. Cardio Gedalia. Gary just won. Gary said cardio Gedalia. Colton, I think Nina is happier being a mother and a wife than being a UFC champion. Oh, we'll see. You know, I mean, she looks happy, but I mean, we'll see when she comes back to the game. We'll see if she wants a title shot after this, you know, if she wins, right? I could see her winning the title and maybe trying to fight for the title, then after that retiring. I could see something like that, giving it one last go. Cardio Gedalia, crazy. Damn, y'all are not stopping. Claudia will be the next oxygen champ. Damn. Claudia is your main girl. Don't do her like that. Great minds think alike. Damn. Man. So, all right. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident y'all think Nina Ansaroff handing Mackenzie Dern another loss? What do y'all think? Scale of 1 to 10. All right, BJ, I know I said I'm gonna get off here. I said like 45 minutes to an hour. It's an hour. It's a little over the hour, so I'm pushing it, right? I'll be on a few more minutes here just because we got drawn out. I ain't gonna be on a full hour though. I ain't gonna be on an additional hour, BJ. So I'm gonna get off here in a minute. Okay, Marcus said at 8. He thinks Nina can do it. Let's see. BJ said a 0. Damn. Genesis back in the building. Genesis, who do you want to see Tatiana Suarez fight next? I didn't see you. You must have left. I want to know. Genesis, who should Tatiana Suarez fight next? Colton said Mackenzie Dern's a good matchup for Nina. Yeah, she's a good matchup. That's why I think it's a good matchup for both. But when we talking like IQ and skill, experience, I gotta go with Nina. Now, if it goes to the ground, then it's possibly going to be, you know, in favor of Dern. So It could be a wrap there. Gary said about an 8. Marcus said about an 8. Dang. Everybody kind of thinking alike tonight. Yeah. I'm like a high 8 or almost a 9. BJ said a damn 0, man. I'm like, what? Who misses weight? That's another question. What do y'all think? Who misses weight in this fight? Do both fighters make weight, or is somebody going to miss weight? Answer that question, please. Colton said Mackenzie Dern is good on the ground, but she has a problem taking it there. Exactly. Exactly. I think there's a lot of fighters like that. You know, yeah, she has a problem. Yeah, she has a problem taking it there. I think there's a few fighters like that. I ain't gonna start with BJ though. I ain't even gonna say. There's other fighters that come to mind, but I ain't gonna start with you, man. Okay, Genesis said Dern. She like to see Mackenzie Dern versus Tatiana or JJ. Yeah, man, that JJ fight would be no joke, man. That JJ fight would be good. I've been wanting to see that fight whenever Tatiana was after she beat Nina. I ain't even say that. Cole said I'm who I'm referring to. I ain't say nothing. You know what I mean. There's fighters that have trouble taking it to the ground. They're good on the ground, but they have some fighters that have trouble taking it to the ground. Colton said they both make weight. Okay. They say both make weight. Stamina said Dern ain't missing weight anymore. I don't feel. Okay. Yeah. I think Mackenzie Dern at this point, she did go on an interview. She did go on to say that having the babies put her mind in a different it's put her mind in a better focus now. You know, she's in a better place as far as competition now. You know, I think she knows that she's fighting for the kid now. So with that being, you know, her mindset, yeah, I think making weight is going to come easier for her, which is good. And yeah, Nina Ansaroff, I think she'll make weight. You know, she has about another 3 months for this fight. And I think by March she'll be getting closer to that weight. Because her being with Nunes, she'll be in good hands. She ain't gonna miss weight. Ernest Richardson said Reba's daddy claimed a couple of days ago that Carla ducked him in an interview today, and Coach Harrison was right about Rose Whaley potentially being hosted in Asia. Yeah, I heard about the Asia thing too. I heard about that, the fight possibly being in. Did he say Rose though? I thought he just said maybe that Dana White said that he wants Whaley's next fight to be in Asia. Didn't necessarily say it would be Rose yet. It could be Carla or Rose. But yeah, Coach had talked about that the fight being possibly in Singapore or something like that. And yeah, shout out, I think it was Robert Henry posted on the Lions Den Women's Mixed Martial Arts page about the Carla situation. You know, her father, Rivas's father, said that Carla did duck her. I got to go back and read that, but yeah, I looked at the headline of it. Marcus said, go ahead, hit thumbs up. Yeah, hit thumbs up, you know. Oh, okay, B just said it was Rose. Okay, he thinks it was Rose. Okay. I thought he was just trying to get Wei Li over there to fight anybody at this point, you know, in Singapore or Asia, somewhere in Asia. Yeah, Jason. I do believe in strategic ducks. I do believe that. I think when a fighter gets to a certain point, they start to play that game. Now, it's almost an end game for their career, and they want to try to take the fights that make the most sense. When they get to a certain point. I mean, if you think about it, you could argue that Joanna might be a strategic duck in a way, right? Because she wants to go straight for a title shot, and she doesn't want to take not the long road, but she doesn't want to take a couple of steps back. She doesn't want to take a couple of steps back and, get a tune-up fight here or there or a title eliminator. She wants to go straight for the title fight. So if the Yawn fight is on the table for Joanna and she doesn't take it, that could be considered a duck too, right? So I think there's like the strategic duck. It's not necessarily a fighter that's scared. I think it's more so like a fighter trying to get what they feel their worth is, or them trying to play chess at this point because they know that the career is about over. Now, if Carla was in the beginning of her career, if Carla was still a prospect and she ducked Amanda Ribas, then it would probably be because, she might be in fear for that fighter. But I think that right now, some of these fighters are playing that strategy duck. And it's not a good thing either, man. It's still not a good thing because in Joanna's case, you've been out a year. You got to prove yourself again, even if not all the way back, but you got to prove yourself. And then you got a fighter like Carla. It would have been nice to solidify your title opportunity by beating Amanda Ribas if you could do it. Because if you got confident in your skill set and you got confident in your place in the ranking, then no other fighter out there should really deter you from fighting them, right? If they say Ribas is calling you out and the champion's not available, then you say, okay, I'll fight Ribas next. All right, no problem. I'll go in there and beat her if I feel confident in myself. So it was probably one of those situations where she said, oh, well, the title's on the line, so I'm going for that fight. I'm not going for high risk, low reward. It's a saying I hate in combat sports, but it's true. Colton said, are you going to talk about Paige's bare knuckle fight? Yeah, I actually did an interview with Britton Hart, the girl that's going to fight Paige Van Zandt, Colton. And we're going to do it again because there was some technical difficulties towards the end. Like, she kind of lost reception. She lost reception while we were doing the interview, but she was in the gym. So we're going to redo the interview. So as we get closer, I'll talk about the actual fight, though. Yeah. So I will talk about the fight. Britain seems ready to. She's ready. She's ready to go in there and try to make a statement against Paige. Paige coming here making a debut. She wants to go in there and do her thing, man. So, I will watch the fight. I think it's Super Bowl weekend. But yeah, I was gonna post that interview last week, but I gotta push it back so we can redo it. Stabler said there's a chunk of unexplained time between Ribas spars are being spoken about. Spars are considered a backup for Zhang and Namajunas failing. We still haven't been given a reason on any of that. Yeah, no, we still have, we still haven't. Yeah, we haven't. We haven't. In all honesty, man, like, I want to see a fight. I want to see the champion come back. I just want to see the champion come back. And if it's Carla, let it be Carla now. Just let it be Carla now. Because she seems to be lined up more so and ready to go. And as a fight fan, I just want to see the fight. I want to see the champion moving. I want to see the champion active right now. Gary said, I think fans would rather see Weili versus Jan over Weili versus Carla. Yeah, I think so. But I think they're kind of holding Jan for Joanna maybe next. Maybe. Marcus, what TJ said, Marcus, I want to see Carla get mollywopped again, let her fight Weili, then Tatiana again. Damn, you trying to get her killed. Yeah, BJ, I hate that, man. I hate that. Interview was going good too. You know, we finished it up, but there was just parts where it got staticky when she was in the gym and lost reception. So, you know, she just texted me back, and I texted her. I told her, yeah, we can do this again whenever she's available. Do her ass whooped twice, dang. Colton said Bare Knuckle FC made a great move by getting Paige. That's going to do wonders for them. Yeah, depending on how long she lasts. I mean, it has brought in a lot of her male following. You know, it's brought in a lot of her following in the building. You know, in the bare knuckle boxing. Yeah, she's gonna be in shock, I think, you know, whenever those bare knuckles hit the first time. Gary said, give me Jan Rose, but give me death. Stavid said, as a fight fan, I want to see fights too, but as a fight fan, I don't want to see selective competitives rewarded. Carla don't got no heart. I can't say she don't got no heart, though, man. That's, you know, I don't think she doesn't have any heart, but yeah, I think that she doesn't want that Ribas fight, and she does take certain routes. The older you get, you start to look for that exit plan, but I can't say she ain't got no heart, though. Oh yeah. Go ahead, BJ. You know, I'm gonna jump over there. All right, I got about another 3 minutes. I'm gonna jump off of here in about 3 minutes because BJ from No Filter MMA, he's about to come on. And BJ, you got to talk about that topic you said up here. I'm gonna go all the way back to the top and read it again. BJ, this has to be a segment tonight on your live stream. Where is it? What did he say? What did BJ say? All right. BJ said, if Jillian ain't top 10 worthy, then Ribas isn't either, period. I mean, that's a bold statement. You know, I just want to know your argument on that. I mean, give me a good point on that, and you might sell it to me. You might win me over with this, BJ, so I gotta know. I mean, it's interesting why you say it. I just gotta know, because you're really telling me to really analyze this, man. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it ain't no argument thing for me. You know, I just wanted to know because I think it just kind of, you know, you look at the strawweights versus the flyweights. You mean like talent wise, or you feel like she just has it better, like skill wise, or is it resume wise? Is it a resume thing? I mean, like I said, I do see Tatiana, 100% Tatiana. I do see her beating Amanda Ribas, and I do see a Joanna beating Amanda Ribas. You know, I do see those top level fighters like them and Rose. I see those fighters beating Ribas, but yeah, I do see fighters like that beating Ribas, but maybe she just hasn't had the competition that, you know, you feel. I'm guessing. Yeah, bare knuckles, man. It changed looks, Jason. That's what I'm saying. I ain't touching that game. Salute to anybody that wants to do it though. But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Appreciate everybody coming through in the chat today, man. You know, everybody from BJ, Marcus, TJ, Jason Rose. I think this is his first time in the stream. You know, I always talk to him on Facebook, but I was glad he came through. Stamina, Coach, Genesis, Gary, Colton. Colton gave me some good, had some good questions in there today. So yeah, man. We'll see. I might jump on tomorrow about 7:30 or 7 o'clock. But yeah, man, go over to BJ from No Filter MMA. He's about to jump on. He's just setting up right now. Of course, I went over an hour. I went over 45 minutes long ago. All right, so yeah, just make sure y'all subscribe. And got another topic here I want to save for tomorrow that I want to discuss with y'all a little bit. So yeah, we'll do that tomorrow probably. I'm just looking at the schedule right now, y'all. Hold on. What's gonna work for me? Yeah, about 7 p.m. tomorrow I'll be on. Yeah, it'll be about 7 p.m. But yeah, jump over to No Filter MMA. You know, BJ, he's about to jump on his stream in a few minutes. He's setting up. But like always, man, I'm Combo Breaker 99. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'm out. Peace.